Are you ready?
Sure. I'm still tweeting.
You still tweeting?
Oh, wait. Yeah.
I literally just asked you if you're ready.
Well,
and you said yep?
I was soft ready.
You were soft ready. Okay,
Right.
Everyone, welcome to the soft start of Out of Combat.
What's up, dude?
Hey guys, my name's Kelly. You guys probably know me better as Hi-Rez Kelly. And this is F.NY. Spell it all out. The F and then the DoT and then and a Y. I mean, that's what it says underneath you.
Sure, but that's not my name.
Beware also that this is the first time that we're doing this, so audio and video and everything else might be a little messed up.
Nah, it's perfect. Everything's perfect.
I hope it's perfect.
Is.
We might be loud. Hopefully we aren't. I'm not seeing anyone saying complaints in chat, so I think we're solid right now.
I think we're pretty good.
I am wearing Moji's shirt. That's right.
I was wearing Moji's shirt today, too. This is hilarious. And I spilled juice on it, and I almost just went with it.
That's actually, yeah, that's kind of funny, right? You should have just worn it. It's like, no, it's Juice Moji, get it? So we kind of were talking over a month ago, actually, about how we miss Hi-Rez's old streams and old content. I mean, I'm sure you guys remember Bart doing patch notes in the closet, and then, like, I was stuck in there for some reason, and then Aramis would come in with his flashing glasses. And we really miss that,
yeah.
and I think a lot of, not just the community, but Hi-Rez misses it as well. So we're trying to bring that same vibe, and it kind of is just going to be like a talk show / podcast.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really, everything is so esports now, which is dope. I miss esports, I'm totally about it.
Yeah, you're the esports man.
But that's legit what my business card says.
The esports man.
But, I mean, what I got involved with Hi-Rez in the first place, the reason I liked Smite was stuff like this, just like chilling, hanging out, and community content. And since there's not really a Smite game stream anymore, there's not really any like come in and hang out with the dudes or people, we figured we'd just do it.
I think someone's saying that there's audio and visual sync issues, and I definitely didn't sync audio into video, so that could be the thing. But I would hate to just stop our stream and then start it back up again. So I think we're just gonna roll with it. Chat, let us know right now if you think that we should just roll with it, or should we try and reset it? Oh, see, people are saying no audio issues.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine.
Okay, cool. Well, guys,
totally
the first episode of Out of Combat, and hopefully you guys get with the name of the title, is that we're actually not talking too much about, it's not going to be an informative show. It's not really going to be anything about esports. It's not going to be anything about strict gameplay. It's just going to be kind of about Smite and what the community is talking about recently. We might be talking about drama. There might be some esports talk and that kind of stuff. But mostly, it's just going to be us talking about Smite casually along with you guys. Reset, roll with it. It's chill. It's fun. Ooh, see, chat. You guys are split.
No, everybody's saying roll with it.
Okay,
everybody's saying roll with it.
We're gonna roll with it then.
I see one or two people saying.
I hope you guys like our setup. I hate green screens.
Yeah, not a green screen guy.
We hate them. I think it looks stupid. So we put all the posters that we could find behind us, and this is our official setup.
I do have to say though, this beautiful Hi-Rez event sign, we're only allowed to use it if we credit the artist. So all credit to Hi-Rez Dan, absolutely fantastic
Good
artist.
job, Dan.
Take a look there. It's fantastic. It's going to be, and he actually put this with a fragile handle with care. We have to make sure not to break it.
No.
So, that's one of our prized pieces of art.
Can you guys tell that literally everything behind is what I did, and then Tom brought this and that in?
No, I also brought the Pecky's hat.
You're right. He brought the Pecky's hat, not
I brought
Cock.
the Pecky's hat.
Pecky's hat.
Yeah, this is, Pecky's wore this every day for like a year. So, that's the Pecky's hat. I brought those too.
Good job. So, the first episode, guys, is going to be kind of related to not only the start of the show, but what we were talking about. And it's going to be the beginning. We're going to talk about how did we start playing Smite, what was our first god, what was the start of Smite and start of Smite esports, all that kind of stuff. More so of a reminiscent. Each episode sequential to this, which is going to be Mondays at 4 p.m. EST. I don't know what that is in GMT.
It's +5. Or they just did
Google.
Yeah, Google it.
Google it. You guys can figure it out, I believe.
The Google.
And so following episodes is going to have a main subject and then a bunch of sub-subjects within that. But today we're talking about the start of Smite.
New Beginnings, Episode 1.
That's right.
The Phantom Menace.
That is the worst possible omen you could give us, to compare us to the Phantom Menace.
What? That was so good. Jar Jar Binks is my favorite Star Wars character.
You know what? That's actually appropriate for you.
What is that supposed to mean?
What is the other? Okay, anyway. So, how and why did we start playing Smite? Tom, I'm gonna let you start this off. Why did you start playing Smite?
I got tricked.
You got tricked into playing Smite.
I just got tricked. I mean, so I like MOBAs. They're cool. I like deep strategy, obviously. But MOBAs click to move, and I don't
Isometric.
Yeah, isometric.
So you don't like Diablo 3. You don't like any. What about RTSs?
RTSs are different. You're moving multiple units.
Okay.
Right. So usually like click and drag, and then right click, and that's a different world. Right?
Okay.
Because you're directing. That's the difference. It's directed versus like actually moving your guy.
Sure.
So when it's one unit, click to move, garbage. It's an antiquated. Anyway,
You could go on for hours.
I could, but so I just don't do click to move. And then one night, my friend said, "Hey, why don't you try this game?" I said, "No, it's a MOBA." And he showed me screenshots like one by one. And he was like,
Wait, when was this? 2013, 2012?
20. I don't know.
Was this the original map or the old map?
This
or
was
the last map.
This was after side camps, before Bumba's Mask.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
it was still pretty old.
Yeah. So I got tricked. He showed me multiple screenshots of just behind the character, right? He was like, "Oh, it's an action game," which it is.
Yeah.
Right? It's an action game. It's not a MOBA. And he showed me shots of Arena, and I was like, "All right, I'll download it." I download the whole thing. We queue it for Conquest, and it's a MOBA, and I'm mad. I played one game, got doo-dooed on. Played a second game, did the doo-dooing, and then I bought the God Pack.
I don't know how long it was for me to get doo-dooed on. Dude, it took me like a year to buy the God Pack. Before I actually worked for Hi-Rez. Actually, I don't think I got the God Pack until I was like involved with Hi-Rez.
That's rough.
So the first time that I started playing Smite was back in July of 2012. One of my first moderators for my stream, Hello Kelly Link, and some of you guys actually might know this person. His name was Click, and that was C space L space I space C space.
Well, they were underscores.
Yeah, underscores. You're right. So you know him, and I'm not going to go into that guy, but he suggested Smite, and I played it for like 2-3 months, and then took like another break to play Diablo 3 when I streamed that, and then went back in like early like 2013, and the rest is history from like Hi-Rez and everything. But
the rest is history.
How
dramatic of you.
I know, how dramatic. I'm just so used to telling the story of how I started playing Smite that I don't want to give everyone the long spiel and everything, and we're going to talk about it later. But a lot of people probably think that I like started with Amir, and Amir's definitely one of I think it was the first Guardian in Smite back when like Friends and Family. But Kali actually was the first god I played.
Kali?
And I loved, one, her name was very similar to mine, Kali Kelly. So that was the initial attraction.
Really?
2, her Blood Siphon was easily the stupid most OP ability in the game, besides Guan. Like, Release Guan was just OP in general. No, you could get like 60% health back.
I remember playing that Kali for a little bit and just dying.
Dying?
I like didn't understand the game at that point. I just died over and over.
Oh yeah, no, I mean you can go back to my old streams and I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm just kind of running around. There wasn't a jungle back then. I'm just kind of I'm just gonna kill things and get some buffs. Who was the first god that you like were obsessed with? And chat, I want to know who you guys played way back when. Who was like the first god that like really got you into Smite and that you were obsessed with?
So the very first god I played was Aramis, and like I said, I was an MMO player.
Okay.
So you hit your buttons all the time and like mana. Oh well, who gives a damn?
She hasn't changed at all, actually.
No, she hasn't. And
Right.
so like I didn't get the idea of how important basic attacks were, especially for hunters. So I would just I went up and I would just hit all of my buttons, and then in 2 seconds be just out of mana. And I did that for one game, was totally pissed, and then played Hebo, because he's supposed to press all his buttons.
Hebo, Habwa. Habwa's is
Listen.
I'm sorry.
We do Hebo here when I'm on the esports desk. Then it's Habwa.
Habwa.
But for right now, it's for
It's the same thing with like Vaman. Raven. It's not Ravana and Vamana.
Nah.
There's no at the end of any name.
Nah, you just say Vamana and you say bad when you're colloquial. Ravana is not the strongest guy.
So Hebo.
So I played the hell out of Hebo, and it was fun because I started like, all right, I'm gonna play this game. I'm gonna watch the stream because that's that's kind of what you do. And so I learned about mid camps. Mid camps are super important. And
I knew nothing about mid camps.
I was like level 1, 2, 3. I was the only one that knew about mid camps, so I did everything wrong. I played Habwa mid, meditation, max
Better
might.
than Chalk mid.
Chill.
Go back to your
Habwa mid, maxed my 3 for poke. Everything was wrong.
You maxed your 3?
But I got the mids, So I was 5 levels above everybody.
Yeah, right?
And just did the doo-dooing.
You're safe with that. Oh god, I hated Hobwa. Hobwa used to be so peeved. Hobwa and Vulcan, back when his meatball did not only stun but also like rooted. Like those 2 gods were easily the most aggravating gods. I didn't care about Loki.
It was like knock up, stun, root, mez.
Ugh. The worst. Hobwa. So in chat, I actually saw a lot of people saying like old gods, Cupid, Hoonbats. I'm sure Sun Wukong, maybe the original Sun Wukong.
The party monkey.
Oh,
the original party monkey.
Happy New Year! Oh god, I miss the old Sun Wukong.
I mean, he was just so good. You got Hoonbat. It's just literally the same guy.
Yeah, same thing with Ao Kuang and Kukulkan.
You still miss the Alquan?
I do.
You can even play the skin. It's literally the same
anytime
guy.
I play Kukulkan, except now he has the skin that's, cool, the noob skin.
What skin?
Cuckoo. The Cuckoo skin. The most recent one.
I
I was about to compare it to something else, but never mind. Yeah, I like that skin. That's a good skin.
That's
and the Void Worm isn't that bad.
I don't play that god at all.
Oh, well.
I
That's right, you're
just
too busy playing Chalk Mid to play Kukulkan Mid.
Exactly. Chalk Mid, the one true god. Chalk Mid and Siege Rhino are like they're the one true gods. One true god shouldn't be plural, but you get what I'm saying. Chalk Mid is fantastic. You guys should all play that in your casual games.
Alright, so we were talking about our first gods, but I actually want to go a little bit on, maybe there's a lot of new people here in chat, they're playing Smite for the first time, or maybe you guys have played for a little while, but you're still trying to figure out maybe easy gods to play. And I want to ask you, chat, this as well. See, look at chat, everyone's saying Chalk Mid OP.
Chalk Mid, see?
I hate Chalk Mid. I'm all about Hell Mid, though. Hell Mid's.
Nah. You and the best can go hang out.
Wait, she's over there, she's near you.
We need Chalk.
Wait, why are you next to Hell and I'm not? I am offended. We need a chalk poster for you.
We just need, this whole thing should be a chalk collage. Ka-chocolage. I can't make that work. It should be a chalk collage. Chocolat?
So,
Who do I think what?
Chocolate Rain? Are you serious? You're about chocolate, but you're now about Chocolate Rain.
Chocolat was a great movie.
Anyway, the best gods in each position for a new player. So the best, what gods are good now that we have 70 gods in the game?
Sure.
Would you start them with? From every role in the game.
I would probably, so if you're playing solo lane, I would go Chalk. Jokes aside, Chalk's very simple to use. You throw the axe.
Good health.
Yeah. There's a classic video from DJ Pernicus showing you how to play Chalk. You just throw the axe and chill. If you're going to play mid, you can go Chalk. You just throw the axe and chill. ADC or support, you can go Chalk. You just throw the axe and chill. And then jungle's a little different. If you want to buy Blink, you can go Chalk. If not, but realistically, I guess. Seriously, I do like Chalk for all positions for noobs. Very easy. But you want to look at gods like Neith, Ra. Very simple.
Are we actually having a real conversation?
I have been having a real conversation from the get-go. Chalk all rolls. Chalk all rolls, okay? I have a feeling you're thinking otherwise, though.
Yeah, no, I actually, and this isn't me, I'm not saying this because I'm an Amir fangirl, but I think Amir is actually probably the easiest Guardian to use. He's got a really simple kit, a cone freeze, a wall, everything is pretty self-explanatory. You don't have, global ultimate, or you don't have a lot of weird mechanics. It's all very simple.
It's real simple.
I would put Amir as the number one support. You don't have to agree, you could put Chalk.
No, for support, I'll actually agree. I'll go Amir for support. For Hunter, I'll go
Neith.
I go Neith.
It's gotta be Neith, right? Well, and I'm not saying she's the best, but she's so easy and it's just very safe.
Apollo's up there too.
No, Apollo. I think Apollo's not good because all of his abilities have two-step mechanics. And
I mean, you have shooting basics and the so beautiful. That's what you do. And then you have the get out of jail free card with, oh no, everybody's attacking me. 4. Peace!
But that's Neith, but you have a backflip instead and you get to spam it.
Backflip that has a long cooldown.
New players don't understand the mana consumption of ult and when you're supposed to use it. How many times do you see a new player go in the base, they back in, and then they ult from base, and by the time they make it to their lane, there's they have no mana.
I love doing that.
That's so bad. No,
I still do that.
You are
I still
wrong.
do that.
I see a lot of people saying Neith and Apollo actually, not saying anyone else really. Mid lane.
Mid lane.
Kukulkan.
Kukulkan's good. Kukulkan is good. And, just you set it and forget it.
You just put the tornado. Throw the tornado out. Throw the tornado. Is there too many scary things? Then you pop your ult. Ooh, I almost said. By the way, this stream is PG-13. I believe we're allowed to say like 2 or 3 curse words. We're figuring things out. So if I let out a few bad words, I apologize.
She's trying to fucking figure it out.
Ooh,
so
people are saying raw. I didn't think about.
Well,
raw.
I was gonna say raw.
Okay.
So raw was my go-to because raw is similar to Kukulkan. It's just set it and forget it. You just and then you can always heal yourself.
You do what? I'm sorry.
It's the searing the sunlight.
To all the people saying Agni and Poseidon, you guys are wrong.
So,
you don't understand new players.
Agni, I'll say no. Agni has intricate stuff and this, that, and a third. Poseidon, I like Poseidon for mid more than I like raw for mid. Because Poseidon is, at the end of the day, if you're getting aggressed on, you can just drop the Kraken on your feet.
That's true.
And that gives you a second to breathe. Raw can get ganked pretty easy. So I like Raw and Poseidon for that mid lane.
I just think that Raw, he's got movement speed so you can get out of trouble. He's got a heal, which is great for players. But I still feel like to effectively be aggressive with Raw or get kills, you kind of have to I don't know, it's a bit weirder. I think a Kulkin is just really easy. You can almost stand into tower and get your wave cleared by throwing out the tornado and then you're one.
Oh yeah.
And then your ult's like a giant safety mode. The raw ult is way harder to hit. What? You think the raw ult is easier to hit than Kukulkan's ult?
Yes! It's faster. Kukulkan ult is like, alright, I'm gonna ult. Press 4.
Are you... That is literally what Raw's is. You hit 4, and then you go, Rah! After a while.
No. You hit 4 and you go, Rah! It's very quick. Both of them have a delay, but Raw's is quicker. Easy.
I think there's chat. I think chat's agreeing with you. I think they're saying Raw.
And
I
also,
think Kukulkan is
And Raw's ult cooldown. What's the cooldown on Raw's ult?
60
4
seconds? Or
You build CDR, you're like, oh, I missed. I'll do it again. Right? It's not that big a deal.
Raw's ult is faster, yes, but not to initially hit someone. As soon as you hear that, any decent player is gonna jump out of the way.
Well, these are newer players.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You got to imagine that they're going up against newer players.
All right, jungle. Hunbat.
So jungle is interesting.
Hunbat.
Jungle is interesting because jungle is in a position that you should play anyway as a new player. You want to learn the other roles first, and I say that
Yes,
because
of course.
jungle is incredibly dependent on what your other lanes can do and sort of providing triage. So you look at your lanes and go, can I help this guy or not? And that's a decision you won't be able to know until you have watched or played that position a lot. So with that in mind,
Chat, remember, we're not saying who is the best god to play. We're saying who is the easiest god for someone to start playing Smite with. Thor has way too much to him.
No,
How many?
That's where I'm going. I'm going Thor. You ever play Othello?
Dude, it took me a year to know that you could teleport back with this camera. There's so many players that
Next time you play Smite, I want you to press K, Kelly.
You want to press K?
Yeah, you know what it does?
Damage?
No, it tells you everything the god
is that the
does.
abilities?
And
Why is damage? Why is damage? Because you always ask why you died. That's how I remember it. Tell you players out there.
Anyway,
you're crazy.
I go Thor, and I'll tell you exactly why. Because Thor does two things. It's like I asked you, have you ever played Othello?
Othello?
Yes, it's a board game based on the ancient Chinese game of Go.
Ooh,
Anyway,
I do know Go from anime. Hikaru no Go? There's someone in chat. All right, sorry, go.
Yeah,
Continue.
it's probably Fats. Anyway, so Othello, the tagline is a minute to learn, a lifetime to master, and that's really the deal with Thor. I always got shock on the mind, man. That's the deal with Thor, because anybody can go up, come down, press 3 and spin and deal damage, right? But then, as you learn the intricacies, you get to play look at adapting, right? All of a sudden, you're doing animation cancels into double tap stuns with your berserker's barrages.
Exactly, it's not why it's not good. To play him effectively, you have to know his combo, which is to stun, throw out the hammer, teleport, and spin around. But with Hunbats, you literally can just jump away whenever you want. There's no extra mechanic to that. You slam down with a cone attack that's damage.
But what about the monkey? You gotta learn how to use
that.
the monkey
Yes, that is the most difficult thing about it.
And you gotta position the Fear No Evil totem correctly so the player runs against the wall and doesn't move.
But it's still a way easier ult to hit than pinpointing someone to slam down. Thor's recent buff, which was half a year.
The circle is the size of Africa. It's not that difficult. It's this big.
It's pretty big.
I know. It's this big.
How does Africa hold so many people?
It's large. That's what I'm
Just
saying.
like Thorzel.
Exactly.
Chat, who do you guys think is the best jungler for a new player to play in? I think with Merc's nerf to his ult,
Merc
it's a
is
lot
weird.
easier to predict him. But he's like still pretty easy. Bastet! What?
Bastet's difficult, I think, because you got Bastet. You gotta use the passive for the 1-2 punch. The jump back mechanic's weird. Cats just suck. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cats
But
are above Tusky.
her abilities are like pretty easy though.
Sure.
Old Kali though. A lot of people are saying Bastet. And people are saying Serket, please. No, you don't.
So I like Fenrir because at low levels, Brutalize just wins the game.
Yeah, Fenrir is pretty safe. You have an ult that you can get out with. I think the mechanics of his passive is what's the most confusing, and people normally miss that. And to be fair, most new players don't know what passives are.
Right, and I come back to Thor. So I like Fenrir the same way I like Thor in the sense that as a Thor, you can stun somebody and spit on their face and watch them die. And then as you learn, you animation cancel to double taps, etc. Same thing with Fenrir. You press 3 and kill somebody. And then as you learn, you start stunning with the jump and blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So I like those two characters. Thanatos, I see a lot of Thanatos. I disagree because every time you use an ability, you lose health.
Yeah, you die a little bit.
You just lose health.
You don't know what's going on.
So.
Also, there's too many people that are new players in Thanatos that will only ult when someone's in range. You're not that's what no one does, especially when you're Thanatos ganking solo lane. You just gank them whatever, and you try and set it up for your solo lane.
I've never played Thanatos, so I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
I think I've played him 3 times.
I've just never played Thanatos.
Thanatos is alright.
He's kind of okay, I guess.
He's pretty good. He's not in the SPL though. Alright, and solo laner.
That's what you say. Cyclone's been destroyed.
Oh, well, that's Cyclone Spin. Right? Solo lane. So, who do you think?
Chalk.
Yeah, I think I go with Chalk too. I only play mages in the solo.
Chalk money!
I only play mages in the solo lane, except for Chalk. He's really good.
So
He's got easy damage. He's got a really strong heal, and then an easy escape ult. Although you're still in this situation, everyone being silenced is a great way to escape.
Chalk.
I think Chalk. Ooh, Herc. Herc isn't easy. Just anything with a combo, I feel is completely negated. That's why I didn't care about Thor. And with Herc, if you don't pull them, if you don't know how to hit that pull immediately and then dash at the right time every single time, you're useless.
For the longest time,
Sun Wukong.
This was
Sorry.
always funny. Yeah, Sun Wukong. You just.
I'm saying chat. You're.
For the longest time when it came to Hercules wasn't played on the professional level, and I always sat there. Excuse me. I always sat there going, "Why doesn't anybody play Hercules? He's so good." Blah blah. Blah. And the answer that was always given to me by professional players and players around that level was, the Earthbreaker was hard to confirm. And I sat there being, inexperienced, going, so you just can't hit it.
Yeah, right?
Just practice. And you know what? They practiced, and now he's one of the top pick guys.
Well, it's also, they made his pullback, way bigger. And it's the same thing with, the nausea stun. That used to be, a lot harder to hit and a lot, thinner of a...
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Nausea's whoever said Nausea as the jungler, you are wrong.
Nausea's tough. Nausea is not a beginning god, in my opinion.
Guan Yu, I don't think Guan Yu's up there. I definitely think it would be between Chalk and
Wukong. Chalk and Wukong.
Wukong is. I think I actually have to give it to Wukong for starting players, because dude, Bird.
Because you get an extra life.
Bird is this. The only thing stupider than Bird is Janice's portals. The fact that you could kill someone to 5% health, right? Do all this damage and then he just goes.
How do you kill someone to 5% health?
Well,
how does that actually happen, Kelly?
I'm about to kill you to
5%.
To 100%. Right. Yes, you're probably right. No, but you get what I'm saying. It's aggravating. It's aggravating to do a ton of damage, and then they look like they're about to be dead, and then they just.
I mean, that's the word. I do a very good job during the Pro League to maintain my salt, but there's nothing worse than you're commentating. There's 4 dudes coming in the middle lane getting smacked. Janice is smacking, but he can walk through walls, so MLC stealth lives.
And it's not it's not a tiny little boop, and then they're right there. Maybe they can jump across. No, it's always a giant angle that goes across the entire mid lane wall, and then you can't do it. There's no way.
And I mean, getting away from just touching some of the more experienced players for a second. If you look at the dual lane, there's this weird part where the wall juts out. And you can portal what looks straight.
There was a weird one with Assault too, where you could portal halfway through the Assault map.
And it's just hi, I'm Giannis, I'm over here. And then he's all the way, and you're just
we're gonna have a whole episode dedicated to Giannis because I hate him. I hate him so much. But
Not a Giannis fan. Not a Giannis fan.
that has nothing to do with too much of the beginnings. But we were talking about, the best starting gods and like ways for newer players to learn. And I actually think the biggest way for a new player to learn is to watch streamers.
Mm-hmm.
But before we talk about not necessarily our favorite streamers, but like who we think are really good for starting players to learn, who was the first streamer or what was the first event community that got you like really into Smite? Because we all started playing Smite.
Right.
And then there was people that like went to the Smite subreddit, maybe 4chan, what's up, Smiggin. I don't know how you guys pronounce it. I shouldn't have said that, oops. And then you have, Tier Monster, you got Smite Community, the like comic book. I see so many people saying Lassus and Dry Bear.
I saw a lot of Shing. Shout out to my man Shing.
For me, it definitely was Lassus.
Mm-hmm.
The first time, and again, this was like July 2012. Anytime I would start streaming a new game, I would watch other streamers, see if there was like a way that they went about it, how they like, produce their stream, to like get an idea of what the community felt. And I remember tuning into Lassus.
Shouts to Relativity Worm.
There you go.
Keep going.
And I don't even know what happened, if he was angry or happy or not, but he gets up from his chair and he has an arcade machine right behind him and he just starts humping it like crazy. He also had Whiskey Wednesdays. I remember that. But I just remember like thinking how silly this person was, and he was like the biggest streamer, still is one of the biggest streamers, and like he was just being like ridiculous, and I think that was a great way to introduce myself into the community, because that's how Hi-Rez was, at least back in like 2012 to like early 2014.
Yeah.
It was just like a shit show. Like it was random ass crap going around everywhere.
Right.
And we just kind of like went with it. And that's again why we're doing this show, because we missed those times.
Yeah, and like that's ultimately what got me involved. And I did the whole like Reddit and 4chan thing as well. And I like to watch the Smite game for stuff like that. I love patch notes with Bart and stuff.
Oh god, there were patch notes.
Admittedly, I didn't really stick around the like Smite game streams themselves for a lot of the times. That's where I got my start. I like watched the patch notes and stuff. It was like, word, I like this company. I like where everybody's at. And I watched some of the stuff. And then I wound up watching a bunch of Fats, because everybody would listen to crappy anime music. And Fats listened to rap music like I do. So like it worked out, because I just didn't have to deal with like Allied's nonsense.
Oh dude,
like,
I loved
Nyan
it.
Cat.
Well, the old streams were like, the best, man, where it was like Matty Pocket, Allied, and Lassus, and like Shing, and everyone, like, they're always like playing each other, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And like, there's VODs from back in 2012 of these guys just like trolling the crap out of each other and just screaming, and they still do that now. And in fact, although Lassus was my like first streamer and like definitely was a big part of me like becoming involved with the community, Allied's old streams. And still now, he is like my favorite streamer.
Allied, Fats, Wolfie are really who like got
Wolfie.
me into the Smite scene.
Yeah.
Because they were just, it was so much of, I mean, I grew up very much like I am now, and like you've got like nerd culture and then like not nerd culture, and it's weird to like balance the two.
It was all just nerd culture for me. That's all I ever did.
And like coming into the scene again, like going into like either like nerd shops or like video game stuff. I worked at GameStop and was always like the odd man out, right? It's him with his basketball and his rap music, right?
It just sounded like an old lady complaining about the kids with their basketball.
Exactly.
All the hippity hop music.
And then, coming into like Allied stream and stuff, he was just a regular New Yorker guy, right? And I got to like relate to that. I was like, word, Smite. All right, there might be some cool dudes in Smite. So I started watching that, and that's really like what got me involved in like that was the like hook essentially.
Okay. In chat, most of what I saw was Lassus and a lot of Dry Bear, who, although wasn't initially like a streamer,
He was YouTube.
easily the biggest YouTuber that like Smite had.
Yeah, I mean, he still is up there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like. He doesn't
couple.
really update videos like consistently anymore.
Sometimes he does. I mean, now it's a different world for him, right? He's doing like 8 million things. With
Yeah, no. We're not like making fun or like saying anything bad about him for not updating his YouTube for being like the lead designer in our new game, right? Like, He's a little bit busy.
Yeah, Dry Bear, shouts to him. Since we're talking about beginnings, Dry Bear was the first one to, like, give me a shot at something.
Yeah?
Yeah,
What was it?
It was Tier Monster.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Tier Monster was like, hey, we need streamers. And I was like, what's up? I know who you are, Dry Bear. I stream to, like, 4 people a couple of times a week. I'm looking to up that to, like, 20, so can I stream for you? And he was like, word, I looked at your VODs. You seem pretty funny. Don't curse like you do on your regular stream, and you're in.
Aww.
You gotta wake up at 6 in the freaking morning, but you're in. And I was like...
Dude, props to you for doing first period for so long. I don't understand how you could wake up that early and stream and like it's 4 o'clock right now and I still need a Red Bull to like be energetic.
I am not a morning person. I missed like a full year of high school for just not waking up. Like in total, it was like 100 and something days that I just didn't go to school.
You and Bart would get along really well.
Because I woke up at like 10 and be like,
well, I'm already late. Might as well not go.
And so, like, for a 3-year stretch, it's like 100-something days.
So I'm like the polar opposite. In my entire high school career, I skipped 1 class. And I was so scared that my parents would find out that I unplugged all the phones in my house. Because the school, like, they call you in if you miss a period. Yeah. And I was terrified. And I remember my mom finding that the phones were unplugged. And I remember I made up some, like, asinine excuse about the internet. And, like, it needed to be unplugged or something. But anyway, that has nothing to do with Smite. So your first involvement with the community and, like, really getting involved with Hi-Rez was... Tier Monster.
Yeah.
Did you do like events or like?
I did. So I did the Tier Monster stream for a long time, like you said. I did first period, and I see a couple of familiar names. So shouts to you guys that have been chilling since then. And yeah, that was me streaming at 7 to 10, and so it started off me playing Smite. And then I realized I was far too ornery at 7 in the freaking morning to like actually play Smite. So I just hit up Dry Bear one day and was like, look, dude, can I just not play Smite? And he was like, well, what the hell do you want to do then?
Yeah, what would you do if you were playing
like,
Smite?
Let me do an esports talk show. And I essentially did like sports radio. Right?
Okay, yeah.
And it was pretty dope. It was a lot of fun, and if I decided to wake up that early, I'd probably bring it back, but no. But so from there, I got the ball rolling with a lot of like, it's fun because you get all the people that are like waking up to go to school, and a lot of the EU people. So it was an interesting audience. And Tier Monster used to do like Divine Intervention, where they would have like important community members play the game, and I
remember I went up against Katixia. I think we were like the only 2 girls besides maybe Chixie, and I was like, I don't want to make it like, I want to make it past her. That's all I want. I don't want to lose in the first round, and I didn't. And
so like I wasn't an important community member, but so one of them called out, so I got to do it.
Yeah. When was the first time you casted for the community?
So, I actually remember specifically. It was January 2013.
When in January?
January 7th.
Ooh! You actually know the day.
January 7th was my proposed first cast. It was a Wednesday, or it was a Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, on DM Brandon's stream slot. Essentially, so this year we did, and we're still doing, So You Think You Can Cast. It's like this big, awesome show.
If you guys haven't seen it, it's Wednesdays at 5 p.m.? Okay. Wednesdays at 5 p.m. EST.
Electro Shiznit, I see you and I didn't forget you. Anyway, coming off of what we were talking about, I'm trying to grab it. Casting, right, January. So essentially what happened...
You might need some more of this Red Bull.
Yeah, I think so. So essentially what happened was Brandon put out just a Reddit post. It was much more low maintenance than it is now. And he was just like, look, we want to find some casters. I'm going to do it on my Smite game stream slot. Put your name in here. And Dry Bear saw that, and I was streaming for Tier Monster at the time. And he's like, oh, you want to cast, dude? And I was like, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. He was like, word, I have a tournament in like 20 minutes. It's just me. Do you want to cast with me? And I was like...
And that was the first time you casted?
Yeah, that was the first time I casted
any game. And it was a Tier Monster? Code Green?
Yeah, it was a Tier Monster, like, Code Green tournament, and I was, like, super hyped, and it was the first time I ever casted anything outside of my bedroom. Like, I was in my bedroom, but, like, me and my brother would, like, cast basketball games. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what Bart and his brother used to do, I think, for, like, the original DoTA, like, before he started working at Hi-Rez.
Yeah, we just, like, watch basketball and, like, cast over it, and so he was like, do you want to cast, like, now? I was like, yeah, sure. And so it was like January 7th was my date, so it was like a couple of weeks before then. And yeah, so that was my first time casting, and then I did the cast on. It was actually fun. Brandon put me after Fats, so that Brandon put me before Fats, so that Fats would sound really good. Because my name was F Swag.
Was it F dot swag back then?
It was just F Swag.
Oh,
and
is F dot really that much better?
Yes. And so he was like, look, this guy name is like Swag, he's gonna be bad. He put me before Fats so that Fats would sound better, and like Fats did well, but I apparently did well too. It was awful. I listened to it recently.
Oof. Dude, never watch your old like casts or streams or anything like that. It is brutal.
It was like WWE meets Monster Truck Rally. Everything was like, they're going for the mid-camps, brother. It was trash.
You guys are the brother.
It was just garbo. But, I mean...
after I like started the stream up like a dozen times. Alright? If you start up the stream a dozen times and then you're just like, well, I'm gonna hit preview once. Yeah? Okay.
You need to
We
pause.
have like 9 minutes to finish this show. And we're back, everyone! Welcome to Out of Combat, episode 1.6, I guess now. Not to get confused with CSGO 1.6.
Why don't you just bunny hop out of here, alright?
I'm just gonna be right back.
So we're back. A dinosaur story.
With the F-Dot show! Alright, so what we were talking about, I don't even remember.
We're talking about
involvement in the community.
Yeah,
how we got started, how we were involved with Hi-Rez at the start. My initial job, believe it or not, I was supposed to have a PC's job, like 3 years ago. I was supposed to be the esports admin while he worked on Tribes. And as soon as I like got in the door, they were like, no, you're streaming, you're gonna do some like community work. And it wasn't until like a year that I got into it that I started making machinimas with like the Unreal Editors
That's
and
what you've
everything.
been doing recently, right?
That's what I've been doing for like the past year. That's all I've been doing.
Can you make one where Chuck ascends to be the one true god of Smite, and the rest of the gods just worship Chuck?
Trying to think of a good pun, but I couldn't.
It's because Chuck's the best. He clearly is the best.
It would be too punishing.
You stole that one from me.
No, I
and
didn't.
you
What
know
are you
it.
talking about?
I used that the other day, and you legitimately said, I am going to save that for later. That's exactly
Where were we? So, how we got involved, we already talked about the guys, and I'm so sorry for the stream dropping, but like we said, we wanted it to be like classic Hi-Rez. Actually, we didn't really have much internet drops way back
No,
when.
it was totally fun.
Yeah.
It was totally fun. There was one time where, at least I wasn't working with you guys, but the story that you guys told Outwoods, which I believe, was that Erez kicked the computer plug.
Oh, no, he's done that many times. That's not a joke. Bart's done that too. I don't know, we have like a janky setup, and me and Bart streamed in the same room for like 2 years. And we're both very clumsy.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah. What's up, Clumsy D? And we like kicked things a bunch and knocked stuff over. Maybe that's what I did now in our stream drop because of that. But we're back. And we're going to talk about Smite. So, Smite started, it was actually a global agenda, like mod. Not mod, but it was like a game mode where it was like a tower defense. And then they like changed it into more of a MOBA. And then Aramis was one day was like, what about gods? What about mythology?
Yeah.
I'm sure I butchered the story and the origin story, but you guys have heard it so many times. You don't need to hear it again. And I just remember vividly, for my first time playing Smite, the outer jungles. I don't know why that is stuck.
Side.
The side jungles, man. There was a yellow buff and a green buff. The green buff gave you HP 5, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it did.
And then the yellow buff...
Damage reduction.
Damage reduction.
I didn't play that, I'm just cooler than Kelly.
Dude, way back when, you could like pick up all of the buffs with one person.
That was cool.
One person could pick up all the buffs. Could you imagine that now, guys? Back when there was like 6 different buffs and one person could pick up all of them.
That was cool.
And there was no jungler either. Bumba's Mask was like forced Smite to have a jungle role.
Bumba's Mask was the first time I made content. Because at that point in time, I mean, I had been playing Smite for a very short amount of time, and Bumba's Mask came out and everybody was pissed. And everybody was pissed because they were attached to this idea of what Smite should
2-1-2, right?
Yeah.
Everyone liked the 2-1-2.
And being new, I didn't have that, like, attachment, that nostalgia, whatever you want to call it.
And you didn't really compare it to other MOBAs either.
Right, because I didn't play other MOBAs. So for me, it was just like, well, now you have variants. It's really cool to have this, like, surprise gotcha, as opposed to, like, knowing where everybody is. It's awesome. And I got so mad at all the little Reddit nerds and Smite game nerds, like, no, this is stupid.
He's talking about you guys.
Bumpa's
You gonna
mask
take this?
isn't good. I mean, I'm talking about you guys 2 years ago, so I'm sure you guys are perfectly fine right now.
You guys are great now.
Anyway, I actually created, and I'm sure if you could find it on if you Google hard enough. I created like a blog spot or like a Zanga or something, right? It was, I forget what service I used, but it was the Throwdown with f.swag. I was still f.swag at
The Throwdown.
And I just wrote this long article about why Bumpa's mask is dope and why the rest of you guys are stupid. And that was the very first Smite content I ever created because I was just pissed.
Yeah.
I was just like,
You
no, you're all
enjoyed
wrong.
it.
The internet needs to know how wrong they are. And it was great.
Does anyone still want it to go back to the old days where it was 2-1-2? Well, where would all the assassins go if it was still 2-1-2?
I don't care.
Would they even be played? Would you just have like a dual lane in the
No, you just have a
solo
kill
as
lane.
well?
You have a kill lane. And that's what they did. That from what I've heard.
What if you
that's
did
what they
3-1-1? You could have like if the team did a 2-1-2 and then you did 3-1-1 and then like your person in the solo that was going up against 2 was like Herc or Bologna, maybe even a Chang'e.
Chang'e.
That's how you have to pronounce all that. Chang'e.
Chang'e.
You gotta
DM Brandon is gonna jump off of the plane.
I know, right? You gotta do the bois like a water drop. It's a little water drop into the pond. Anyway, I think I like the jungle meta. I don't care for junglers. I hate the jungle role. I'm awful at it. Being able to like to min max your rotations and ganking with your actual farming and just like killing things. It's not hard.
It's also always the jungler's fault.
It's always the jungler's
No
fault,
matter what.
or the support's fault.
Did you get soloed in lane? Well, that's because the jungler
Where are
didn't
your
show
wards,
up.
man? I got 3 of them there. They ulted me from the fire.
No, it's the jungler's fault. He didn't show up.
5-0 lane. There we go.
Yeah.
5 people. You just bum rush the Phoenix, and then you win.
Clearly. I mean, no.
I think we need to change the meta. That's what we're gonna call this show. Change the meta. It's not out of combat anymore. We're going straight into combat.
So should we just change the name of the show every day?
Yes.
I mean, it took long enough.
Every day, not even every week.
To come up with this name.
We were gonna call this show A Grain of Salt.
It was changed 10 minutes before we went live.
Pretty much. But I like out of combat more. Grain of Salt sounds like we're too salty, which I am with our internet dropping. But hopefully the internet doesn't drop in next episode. But after this, guys, we're going to be going on next week, next Monday, the 2nd of November? Yes, the 2nd of November. Join us again, same times. Again, hopefully our internet doesn't drop. I'm so sorry about that. That sucks. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the content from like 4 to 4, like 40.
Yeah,
and then
4:40.
440 and 450 doesn't exist. It's not a part of time. Kronos comes in, rewinds it all.
The Mr. Who.
Kronos
With
should
the-
get a Doctor Who skin.
Mr. Who with the screwdriver.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Topical references.
Good for you, man.
God,
Although
he's
now
proud.
he has sunglasses. He doesn't have a screwdriver anymore. To the 3 Who fans in here and myself.
Well, Gandhi's proud.
But
Gandhi's big.
next episode is going to be Halloween themed, of course. It takes place right after Halloween, or not necessarily
Will
Halloween.
you be in costume?
Oh, we should. Okay.
Can you be in a costume?
Yeah.
Nice.
We have to dress up as some kind of Smite people.
I heard.
Are you gonna be Chalk?
All of a sudden, I'm hearing we, and I'm not on board.
You gotta be
I'm
Chalk.
down with you. I don't know about we.
There's no way you're not dressing up as Chuck.
Where am I going to get like a giant man-slaying axe? That is the pivotal part of the costume.
No, his headdress is the pivotal part. Anyway, we're gonna be talking about spooky stuff, guys. What is the most terrifying? I know he likes the way I say spooky. I can't. You can't. You gotta say spooky like that. Spooky. So terrifying god skins and the scariest sound in Smite, which we're gonna do right before we leave right now, guys. A little teaser into next week's episode.
Ooh.
What is the most terrifying sound in Smite?
Do you have a voice pack yet?
Do you?
No. But I do have an icon.
So do I.
Tie game.
Yeah, alright.
I mean, the go-to obviously is the whoosh of Loki.
Oh,
yeah, but
Okay.
I honestly, what gets me every time is the blink sound.
Oh, so like you know you're about to die, especially if the enemy team has like an Ares or an Amir.
Every
Blink.
time.
Oh, I'm about to be frozen. Yep.
Yep.
And then I got two'd, and then I got ulted. Oh, okay. I'm done.
Ares is fine because like then you get the long like and you like know that you got beads and stuff, right? You can laugh at that one. But like Ymir is just you just die. You just all of a sudden.
Can you just do all the sound effects for
Well,
Smite?
it's the blink. It's like the and then the which is the frost grab.
Yeah.
And then the that's the carpet, and then he hits you with the passive hit, the passive basic, and you just like you just fall.
Yeah.
You just absolutely there's no getting out of it. Even if you beads at that point, you're still like and you're just like you just like absolutely get.
Can't even do it that.
You know when you open up a Snapple.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. That's enough. So, my favorite spooky sound, or not my favorite, I guess, the thing that scares...
Your favorite what?
My favorite spooky sound. And this is the most terrifying sound in the world, is when you're in mid lane, and there's a Kukulkan on the enemy team, and you're returning back to base, or running away, maybe someone blinked in, and then you just hear the ult. You know that you have a few seconds, like I said, 1.5, you don't know if you're supposed to go left or right, because you can't turn around or else you're dead by then. And you just have to hear this terrifying sound and hope that it goes to the right side of your ear or the left side of your ear. That is the scariest sound in Smite.
You just pick one. You pick one, right? You just like...
I'm gonna go diagonal.
I'm gonna go to the left, and hopefully that move goes to my right.
Hopefully I don't die. Ooh, the raw laugh? That is pretty terrifying, but I don't think that fits the same.
Oh!
And that's the note that we're gonna end on, everyone. Woo to you.
I'm glad you did something stupid too.
Oh, what did you?
What is it?
What are you doing? What
Okay,
did you do?
so this you just did this. This doesn't actually. Where's stop streaming? Where is it? We'll
There's
see.
literally a button that says stop. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching the first episode of Out of Combat. We're sorry with the internet issues. Hopefully next week we're not going to have any of these issues. Remember, spooky stuff, so think about all the spooky things, spooky skins, scary times in the game, and probably the scariest matchup you can go up against.
Spooky.
But thank you for watching. My name is Kelly. You can follow me on Twitter at Hi-Rez Kelly.
I'm F. or Tom, either way. Follow me at right there, F.NY spelled out. So do that up, and let us know.
What do you guys want to see?
Yeah,
if you guys want something different, like this is really a show for you guys because you guys don't, like we're always in front of the production crew. We always have a bunch of different cameras and switchers and all that kind of stuff in front of us. And it kind of puts us, not necessarily in a weird vibe, but they definitely seem to be like, hello everyone and welcome to the Smite Show.
Folks.
Yeah, so like, I don't want to do that. I want to just be able to talk with you guys and just talk about Smite. So hopefully you all liked it and...
Hit us up with some feedback and what you want to see.